Hey guys, today we're going to discuss about every single gen squad that I had. What's going on, everyone? Wolfson here, back at here for another video, and today we're going to talk about every single gen Pokemon game that I've ever played and my starting team or my final team, however I want to. Reason why I'm doing this is because recently I've been looking over the Twitter sphere and other sphere, like somewhere, I think it was a YouTube feed. People started to do, content creators started to do like this little list of things, like kind of a spreadsheet about the Pokemons that they had on every single gen. Like Gen 1, this was my team, Gen 2, Gen 3, all the way to Legends Arceus and ZA, and obviously Gen 9. And I thought about it. I was like, oh, this is actually a good content to make for a video. I don't know how long this is gonna be, and if it's longer than it should be, then I'm dividing this into two parts, because the reasoning why I'm doing this, obviously it's fun, but also I want to give a little bit of explanation as to why I decided to choose all these, at least small little briefs as to why I chose these type of Pokemon for my team and why it works, you know. Obviously it's for my own entertainment purposes and it's my own opinions, and if you guys can disagree, then kick rocks. But even so, if you guys got certain opinions about it, please let me know in the comments down below, and I'll just scroll over and be like, okay, cool. Nevertheless, I'm gonna go ahead and discuss about it on every single gen. That means on every Pokemon game, I always have either a fire, water, dark, ghost, and dragon in my team. That's already like 5 Pokemons all in one team. That means the sets, it could be a random, it could be anything. Usually it's a steel or something else. Who knows, you know, who knows? But that's usually my starters. Why? Because I feel like I like the water and fire for sure. Dragon and ghost has been and always has been my favorite typings. And dark, I feel like it's a very strong typing, you know, not that many weaknesses other than fairy, and I think it was either poison or bug or both, and not that many Pokemons out there that, you know, can take down dark. It's like gets in a very heartache out of it, so it gets a little competitive edge, you know. I wanted to show you guys what I have so far, so without further ado, let's get down with the shiznits. All right guys, let's do this. All right, if you guys ever want to build like a team planner, if you guys want to know like what teams you ever want to build, I suggest you go to this website. It's really cool. Just Google search, you know, team planner for Pokemon, and it gives you a lot of good stuff. Like it gives you like a show team analysis and gives you like the team's defense and coverage, you know. It's pretty cool. I liked it. Just giving you guys a heads up. So here is for my Pokemon team for red and blue and yellow, you know. These were my Pokemons that I ended up, and even so I've done it so many times, but this was like my ultimate team. I chose Charizard, Gengar, Rhydon, Gyarados, my Zapdos, and Dragonite, Doofus Pokemon. Yeah, guys, that was my Gen 1 Pokemons. This is how I finished. Notice that there's like a lot of flying. Like you got 4 flying in total. But at that time, there wasn't any dual typings. At that time, there was just one. So at that time, it was just Charizard was just fire, Gengar was just ghost, Rhydon was like, I think it was just ground. Yeah, Gyarados was just water, Zapdos was just electric, and Dragonite was just dragon. That's that. There wasn't any dual typings at that time. So yeah, guys, that was my, you know, my red, blue, and yellow team. I'm not gonna mention a fire red and leaf green because I basically did the same thing. But this was always my team and I loved it. Let me know in the comments below, what's your Kanto team, you know, overall. Let me know. Moving on, let's go to Johto, gold, silver, and crystal. I'm gonna do the same thing with Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I basically did the same team more or less. I had 2 teams. Obviously, I had the team for Alligator and team Typhlosion. And today we're just gonna focus on team Typhlosion. If you guys want me to show you guys team for Alligator, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll tell you what it was, you know. But yeah, first one is 100% Typhlosion. Absolutely. I had Ampharos. I had the Crobat for sure. Steelix. Ooh, yeah. We need Umbreon. And Kingdra. There you go. So yeah, guys, this was my team for Gold and Silver and even Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The only one that I changed mid-game was Umbreon into Tyranitar. Where's the big guy? Because again, this became a thing about having pseudo legendaries. Anybody who doesn't know what pseudo legendary is, like every gen there's like these type of Pokemon. Majority of the time they're dragon, but not all of them, that have their own evolutions and they all evolve into higher level Pokemons, but like you have to grind to get to them, and they're like considered one of the most strongest type Pokemons, that they are compared to as strong as legendary level type Pokemon like the Lugias and the Mewtwo's and of the world, you know. So Tyranitar was the pseudo legendary, you know. Kanto was Dragonite. Hoenn, Ruby and Sapphire was 2 Salamence and Metagross. And Gen 4 was Garchomp. Gen 5 was Hydreigon line, which is like introduced the Dark Dragon. Gen 6, according to people, they say it was Goodra. I denied that. I don't believe that, but people say no, it's Goodra. But I don't know. Goodra not that good. He became good in Legends Arceus for sure. And yeah, Gen 7 it was Komodo, the dragon fighting. Gen 8 it was Dragapult, which is my favorite Pokemon. And Gen 9 is Batcalibur. So the majority of them are all dragons, but it's only like Tyranitar and Metagross are like the only 2 that are pseudo legendaries that weren't dragons, but they're still like their typing and their bulk status are like OP, and the grind to evolve them was ridiculous. So before Tyranitar, midway through the game, I had Umbreon at first for the Johto, and then I switched it to Tyranitar, and then I kept with Tyranitar. And it sucked. And there was a time in which there was a time that this was my team. So I didn't have, I captured Gyarados, Red Gyarados, obviously the first shiny, why not? But this was my team before, because obviously having 2 games, I could just like transfer one to the other, obviously. And I was okay with this. I was fine. So yeah, it's between Feraligatr and Kingdra. The same thing with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but this was more or less what I got. I think in Heart Gold Soul Silver was a little bit different, but if I remember correctly, this was basically my team for Gen 2. Moving on to Gen 3, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Oh my goodness, this one's a bit tricky because obviously first it was certain Pokemon and then I switch it up. But here's what I'm gonna do. And in this one, in Gen 3, I'm gonna put the team that I had first, right? And that's the team that I had first. And then in Omega, Ruby, Alpha, Sapphire, I'm gonna put the team that I have now as that region. Even though it has its mega evolutions and whatnot, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. At that time, this was the Pokemon that I chose to have, and this is what I play with. And like I said, at that time it was like whatever Pokemon got available, I later switch it to the Pokemons that are like only for that team, for that region, because I don't want to like repeat from all the older generations. So yeah, so first, people who know me say, oh, it's Sceptile. Yes, no, it was actually Blaziken. Blaziken was my first starter, and obviously it's because it's just so badass. Look at the firefighting. Absolutely. So Blaziken was definitely my first. For sure, Aggron was there in my team. Flygon was there for sure. I know I had Salamence. I know I had Metagross in there. Pretty sure it was Sharpedo. I'm pretty sure it was, because it's the only water that I thoroughly enjoy out of all of them. Like, I didn't like any of the water designs or any of the flying I know at one time I had Absol, but then I didn't like it, like the attacks of it, Bayonet and Dust Clubs. I think I always had Dust Clubs with me. So I remember Metagross was never there, even though I ended up with Metagross because we had the Battle Frontier. But it was like a grind. Yeah, it was a gift from Steven. So I have Dust Clubs. That was, yeah, there you go. Now it makes more sense. This was my team back then. This is how I ended on my team. But first it was, Blaziken, the first starter. Obviously, everybody's saying, my guy's like, no, Blaziken. And it's like, Pacha. But yeah, this was my team at that time, Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think so far. Moving on to Gen 4. All right, so this one was a little tricky, but at that time I wasn't too fan of Torterra. Torterra later, it grew on me later down the road, like for Legends and for the BDSP. Torterra did grow on me, and the typing grass ground. But the whole time I went with these two, and when I saw the final Evil Infernape, I was like, oh, I was just like, I don't know why everybody loves Infernape. I don't like Infernape. I understand. Yes, guys, I don't like Infernape. So what? My freaking opinion. I don't like Infernape's design. I felt it was just a little bit like Chimchar, Moferno, and Infernape. The whole line itself just sucks overall. And firefighting, like we already have Blaziken. Why are we repeating with this? And that's like when you see like, oh my god, we're repeating typings. We're not gonna be creative about it. I wasn't a fan of Inferno, even though I get what everybody's saying. Oh, it's very powerful. One of the few powerful fire types, with dual typings. Like I get it. I still choose Typhlosion over this, literally. So I always ended up with Empoleon, and obviously Luxray was part of my team. I need to think whether I ever had Staraptor or not. I did have a Weavile in my team for sure. Garchomp was part of my team. Ooh, Spiritomb was, oh my god, I remember. Yeah, I had Staraptor. I definitely needed a flying in all this. Yeah, I didn't have Lucario because honestly, I know Lucario was amazing, and to this day it still is, but I didn't realize it was in these games until later down the road. Later when I replayed Platinum, I was like, oh shit, there's a Lucario here. I didn't know about it. I totally forgot about that Lucario was part of the team. I was able to get Lucario in Black White too. Sorry, I didn't know. So I never put Lucario on this team, and this was just basically my starting team, or my final team, Moving on, now we got to my favorite gen. So in Gen 5, I had two teams, and I regretted whatever I did in Gen 1. I regretted the team because I didn't like it so much, but I rectified with this team. So initially, I had this Superior 100%, and at that time, I needed a water. Obviously, it was Gigalith. I didn't get Sororark, but I definitely got Electros. I got Hatsuras. I got Chandelier. Was that my team? No, I remember I had Turturga. Yeah, I remember I had Turturga. Yes. Yeah, this was definitely my team at first because this one, the Hydreigon was just late in the game, and I didn't want to feel like grinding that much. So yeah, this was my first team. There was I love this team. I always loved it, and it was almost similar to ZA's team that I had. But I loved it. I always loved it. The fact that it was like Ghost Fire. Oh my god, I think this was one of the beginning of why I started loving Ghost and Fire typing together. Oh no, I never did. I know, I'm lying, guys. I'm sorry. There you go, Crocodile. Now it makes more. Now I'm remembering. This makes more sense. This is what I had initially. Yes. At that time, I didn't know much about it, but I didn't like Superior's Final Evil. By the time I got there, it was already too late, and I was just like, whatever, I'll just deal with it. When we get to Black and White 2, there's not gonna be that much of a difference except for this. So it's gonna be Samurott as my team. I remember having Gigalith. Where's my Zoroark? Oh yeah, Volcarona. Yes, guys. Hold on. Electros. I still had the Electros. I was able to get first. Obviously, I got Hatsuras. Yeah, Hatsuras, and then it was later replaced with Hydreigon. Oh yeah, this is much more of makes sense now. Yeah, this is now like how I remember playing it, how I just like, oh yeah, this is the OP team that I got from Gen 5, and I love Gen 5 since then. And yeah, because Samurai overall, I love the design of Samurai, and I was like, I wish I knew Samurai, and I would have picked Samurai all the time, but you know, I had Lucario on this team for sure, but you know, as soon as I progressed, I replaced Lucario with Gigalith at that time because you were able to get Gigalith without doing any trading. Capture any Moga at any level, and when you progress in the game, they'll give you a Gigalith level 35 male with big stats all around. So I immediately did that trade, and I just kept Gigalith as well as Sororic. I couldn't get Sororic in the first game. It was more like an event type playing at that time, and I did got it later down the road. But it was like, yeah, you couldn't get it to, you know, for you to grind in the later games. But in Black and White 2, they did that. They were able to give you his pre-evo Volcarona. This Pokemon is another level. I hated that. You had to like get Larvesta and evolve it to Volcarona. It's a stupid grind, like ridiculous, and I didn't want to do that. But when I was told that you can catch your Volcarona at level 45, no ifs and buts, I was like, okay, cool. So I replaced my Chandelier to this one. So yeah, was my team that was rectified from the previous one. But you know, I was so proud and so happy. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. So right now, video's got long. So we're gonna stop right there for this part, and we're gonna continue in for part 2. So guys, stay tuned.